What's up? It's your girl VRTs, and today I really want to speak from my heart because this painting ended up meaning so much more to me than I even anticipated. And for today's piece, I painted a stoplight. Simple idea, right? Red, yellow, green, what much more is there to talk about? But while I was painting it, I realized this is exactly what being an artist feels like. It feels like standing at intersections your entire life, trying to figure out whether you should stop, wait, or finally go. And if I'm being honest, I think a lot of us have been sitting at the same light for years, if not decades. You know, there's something deeply painful about carrying a dream that feels bigger than your current reality, especially as an artist. Because art is personal, it's vulnerable, it's attached to your identity. So when things don't move the way you had hoped, it doesn't just feel disappointing, it feels personal. You start questioning yourself quietly, late at night, while you're scrolling, while watching everybody else seemingly make it. You begin wondering if maybe your best work has already happened. Maybe the version of you that was fearless, that version is gone now. Maybe life hardened you. Maybe responsibilities changed you. And maybe disappointment made you smaller. And eventually, you stop moving altogether. And that, my friend, that's the red light. The stop. And what's heartbreaking about the red light is how convincing it feels. You begin treating your dream like something you need to protect yourself from. Because after enough disappointment, enough comparison, enough silence, you become afraid to hope too loudly anymore. Afraid to try too hard because trying means caring and caring means risking heartbreak all over again. And I know what it feels like to have this huge vision inside of you while simultaneously feeling frozen. To know you were created for more, but still battle the voice that says, what if it never happens? And that fear can become paralyzing. And it can lead you to stop posting, to stop painting, to stop sharing, and you start convincing yourself you're taking a break, but deep down, you know something inside of you has gone quiet. And the scariest part, you slowly start becoming comfortable at the red light. Then there's yellow. And honestly, I think this is where most creatives spend their lives. Yellow is hesitation. Yellow is almost ready. And yellow is having the idea, the vision, the talent, the calling, and still remaining stuck in preparation mode. Yellow sounds like, I'll start next month, or I just need more time, or I need to improve first, or I need better equipment. Woof, I've been stuck on that one for a minute. Or I need to feel more confident. And the crazy thing is, all of it sounds reasonable, right? That's why yellow is dangerous, because it disguises fear as responsibility. You still feel connected to the dream in yellow. Oh yeah. You think about it constantly. You imagine the life constantly. But imagination without movement eventually becomes suffering. Because your ideas were never meant to stay trapped inside of you. And the moment you decide that you're not going to share it with the world, did you even really execute? See, this is exactly where consumption sneaks in. Because when you stop creating, you start consuming instead. You scroll for inspiration, you watch other artists, you compare yourself, and now instead of hearing your own voice clearly, you're overwhelmed by everybody else's. And that's what happened to me. Okay, that is exactly what happened to me. And there were moments I genuinely tried to convince myself I was being productive because I was thinking so much. I had a lot of thoughts constantly when I was consuming. Concepts were coming constantly, visions constantly, but my hands weren't creating anything. And eventually I realized something terrifying. You can consume so much inspiration that you literally suffocate your own originality. And that's why in my previous video, I talked about how consumption keeps artists broke. Because consumption has a return on investment of 1. Okay, this is why it has a success rate. You receive something temporarily, a little dopamine, a little stimulation, a little emotional escape, but it never multiplies your life. It just keeps you in cycles. And I'm not even just talking about being broke financially. Consumption leaves you spiritually broke, creatively broke, emotionally broke, because you spend your entire life taking things in without ever releasing what God placed inside of you. But then, my friends, there is green. And green changed everything for me because green is movement. Green is trust. Green is obedience. Green is finally choosing to move before you feel ready. And I need you to hear me when I say this. Ideas come from the Lord. Ideas come from Him. And if He gave it to you, you can execute. And if He gave it to you, you can execute. Okay, I need you to go back and watch my video about how ideas come from the Lord. Because that sentence has been changing my life lately and entirely. Because I realized something. The ideas that keep returning to you are returning for a reason. That vision won't leave you alone because it's alive. That book, that business, that collection, that channel, that dream you keep revisiting every single year, it's still knocking because it was never meant to die inside of you. And the Bible clearly states, write the vision down and make it plain. And for so long, I misunderstood that scripture. I thought writing the vision meant waiting until I had everything figured out. But now I realize faith has movement attached to it. And creation has movement attached to it. Because think about it. The very first thing God did was create. Before anything existed, there was creation. And every time we create something from nothing, we reflect that same nature. And that's why creating feels so deeply connected to our spirit, because ignoring your creativity can literally make you feel empty in ways you can't even explain. And here's what I've noticed since truly committing myself to creating again. Creation multiplies your life. It really does. When you create, more ideas come, more clarity comes, more confidence comes. You stop operating from scarcity because you realize ideas are abundant and there's no shortage. And the return is so much greater than consumption could ever give you. Creation gives you genuine satisfaction, peace, joy, contentment, and heals part of you. And eventually, what starts inwardly begins showing outwardly too. Because people see your growth, your consistency, your evolution, and opportunities begin finding you because movement creates momentum. But when you ignore your ideas, they can start consuming you as well. You can start thinking about them every single day. You feel them sitting on your chest. You feel them following you around. And over time, that turns into frustration, then regret, then bitterness, because deep down, you know you were supposed to move. And that's why I truly believe this metaphorically. Death lives in consumption, but life lives in creation. And this all brings me back to the stoplight, because every artist eventually reaches a moment where they have to decide, will I stay stopped because of fear? Will I stay hesitating because I'm waiting for certainty? Or will I trust God enough to move forward while still being afraid? And I just want to remind you of something before this video ends. Your best work is not behind you. Your best ideas are not behind you. And your greatest season is not behind you. Because there is still so much life ahead of you creatively. So much beauty ahead of you. So much growth ahead of you. But you only discover it when you keep choosing the green light. Again and again and again. So let me ask you something. What area of your life have you been treating like a red light? What dream have you been sitting in yellow with for far too long? And what would happen if you finally trusted yourself enough to go? Drop it in the comments and meet me here for day 12, because this challenge stopped being about painting a long time ago. This is about becoming alive again, about stepping into our calling again. All right? Okay. Bye.